Hi, I'm Jon Kuzma from EndZoneBlog.com, and we have some great news from around the league today. First and foremost, Brandon Marshall was released by the New York Jets. Brandon Marshall, aka Machine Marshall, had been the leading receiver for the Jets for several seasons. This past season, Quincy Enunwa actually passed him and was the leading receiver for the team. Enunwa was making $1.7 million a year, while Brandon Marshall was making $7.5 million a year. So really, for the Jets, it was a no-brainer that they should turn the page to the younger, more productive, and less expensive player rather than keep Marshall around as the lead dog. I think Marshall's 31 or 32 years old, and they wanted to give those reps to younger players on the team. You can't blame New York here. They're going through like a mass overhaul where there's a lot of turnover. It seems like they're trying to refine their roster and get younger and get salary cap down. They want to roll the ball out for these younger players like Quincy Enunwa, who could be the future of the team. And like I said earlier, Enunwa is making $1.7 million, while Marshall is making $7.5 million. So it's a no-brainer. You got to go with the cheaper guy and the emerging player rather than the player like Brandon Marshall, whose career is actually drying up. Continuing on, we have Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette, the standout running back from Louisiana State University. He showed up to the combine a little heavy. He was 240 pounds. We were hoping that he'd be around 235 pounds, but Fournette wasn't lean enough. He looked a little heavy. He also chose not to do the bench press, so that was a little bit of a disappointment too. So you have to wonder if Leonard Fournette is taking the process seriously. You know, I've already heard that he's expected to go in the top eight picks. So maybe he thinks that he's already got it and he doesn't have to work that hard for it. That's not the case in this league. You gotta earn your paycheck day in and day out at practice, grinding and giving everything you got. There's no like a special privileges for a rookie. If Fournette doesn't know that now, he's eventually going to be in for a rude awakening. Hopefully this guy understands the opportunity that's in front of him, and hopefully he does everything he can to prepare for the gig of a lifetime. Every little kid, you know, that's a boy in this country dreams about playing in the NFL, and Fournette's lucky enough to get that opportunity. He better make the most of it, make something happen, and really show to these teams that he can come in and be a star, similar to how Ezekiel Elliott was last year. Fournette had a bad year last season. He was plagued by injuries. He missed numerous games, and it was the first time during his collegiate career that he didn't go over the 1,000 yards rushing mark. So he already had that down year for him. So you got to think there's a chip on his shoulder, but with the way he showed up to the combine, apparently it wasn't there. You know, if I had a down year, I would do everything I can to prove all the doubters and the haters wrong. Hopefully, you know, Fournette understands that and takes it more serious in the future. In Fournette's defense, he can put all the questions to rest with a fast 40 time. If he can get under, you know, a 4.3 40-yard dash, 4.4, or under a 4.4 40-yard dash, that would really show the scouts that he carries the 240 pounds well. So keep an eye on what he does in the 40-yard dash today, or actually tomorrow, Friday, and see if he can put together a strong 40-yard dash performance. That's really what it comes down to right now for Leonard Fournette. Moving on, Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook could be the best back in this entire draft class. In fact, Dalvin Cook just told the media he believes he's the best back in the entire draft class, and he believes he can have an impact similar to what Ezekiel Elliott did. Right now, Elliott is the standard of running backs coming into the league. You know, that's why, you know, Fournette wants to have that Ezekiel Elliott impact. Dalvin Cook wants to have that Ezekiel Elliott impact. We'll see which one of those two players is most like Ezekiel Elliott. And right now, if you're asking me, I like what Dalvin Cook's putting together. He had 3 straight seasons of 1,000 yards rushing at Florida State. Um, he never really got hampered by injuries like Fournette did that past year. And Cook finished his career with like 145-yard thrashing of the University of Michigan defense in the Orange Bowl. So you got to love what he's doing there. Um, if you're a team in the NFL looking for a running back, someone like the Carolina Panthers, maybe the Jacksonville Jaguars, you definitely got to look at Leonard Fournette, or not Leonard Fournette, excuse me, Dalvin Cook, and see if this guy can come in and be the guy that you're looking for. Truthfully, I believe he can. Um, if you walk away from this draft with Dalvin Cook on your roster, it's a win for you as a franchise. So expect him to go pretty early, and hey, if he comes to the Detroit Lions, I'd be extremely happy. Continuing on, we have the Eagles, the Titans. Both are pursuing Brandon Cooks. Eagles and Titans both need a little bit of wide receiver help, so they've been reaching out to the New Orleans Saints about potentially bringing in Brandon Cooks. Really, I don't know why New Orleans would be even discussing this. Cooks has been their most prolific receiver the last few years. I mean, maybe now they feel he's expendable now that Michael Thomas is in the fold. But truthfully, why not keep both those pieces together? You have such a dynamic offense with Cooks on one side and Thomas on the other side. Really, all the Saints have to do is clean up that defense. So I really don't see what the Saints are doing in all this, discussing or trading Brandon Cooks. But maybe they feel like, Cooks is undersized. He's a small receiver. Maybe they want to go with an NFL prototype, 6'4", 220-pound receiver. To me, it doesn't matter if you can produce, you can produce. I wouldn't trade Brandon Cooks, but we'll see if the Saints move him to the Titans or move him to the Eagles. We'll see what happens there. Truthfully, if I had to guess which team you would go to, it feels like you would probably go to the Eagles. He could really fit into Doug Peterson's scheme and give him a little something there. But at the same time, you can't undervalue the Titans. They got the ground and pound with DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry. I mean, I think they had Tavon Sharp really be their guy there, but they need a wide receiver desperately too, so maybe the Titans instead. I missed this in the draft coverage earlier when I was speaking earlier on. McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey, Ed McCaffrey's son, he put up only 10 bench press reps at the Combine today. That's not very impressive for NFL running back. You really want to see this guy plus 15 on the bench press reps, at least 15 reps or more. To do 10 is kind of an embarrassment. It makes me think he's a little light for that NFL running back position. Maybe he has to switch to wideout or do something else. He could be a slot guy if needed, but 10 bench press reps, a lot of NFL scouts put a red circle around that and deducted him a lot of draft points in their grading system for that poor performance on the bench. I mean, I could have bench pressed 10 reps at 225. I've done it before. I've done over that before. So to see Ed McCaffrey only do that much is really quite disappointing. And when your dad's an NFL player, you should have been prepared better than that. If you knew that you only could hit 10 bench press reps on the bench press, you should have been training that to give a better performance at the Combine. It's all about preparation in this league, and I feel like McCaffrey was a little bit underprepared. Continuing on, the last thing we got, I've seen a lot of talk about which team has the most riding on this draft. I've seen a lot of teams say the Cleveland Browns, the San Francisco 49ers, but I think that's wrong. I've seen a lot of analysts say that, I meant to say, and I think that's wrong. I think the team that has most riding on this draft is the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars had all that hype surrounding their team last year when they got Miles Jack and they got Jalen Ramsey and they brought in a bunch of other free agents like Malik Jackson, and they had Umu Kamara last year. They had all that hype surrounding their program, and then they finished the year 3-13. 3-13 is god awful in the NFL, and they should have been far superior than that record. Um, there's also news reporting out of Jacksonville that the team is reluctant to pick up Blake Bortles' fifth-year contract. I don't know if you know, but Blake Bortles has been an absolute turnover machine. I think he's got like 51 interceptions in 3 years. And I can't even count how many of those last year alone were picked off and taken to the house. So not only is this guy turning over the football, he's letting these turnovers go for 6 points the other way, and he's not giving enough effort trying to tackle these defenders that pick him off. And truthfully, it's not really working out for Blake Bortles. When this guy was coming out of, I think it was Central Florida a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I thought he was the best quarterback out of that draft class. So far, he's definitely underperformed. He's not living up to expectations, and he has one more year at the helm of Jacksonville playing like this before they run him out of town. So it's definitely make or break time for Blake Bortles. He did have that good season 2 years ago, but you can't survive in this league off what you did 2 years ago. So it's make or break time for Blake Bortles, and he's got to rise to the occasion, or he could find himself in a new location. Maybe that's the best thing for him. The Jaguars are a historically bad football team, and who knows what they're going to do. The good thing for the Jaguars is they maybe have the sweetest stadium. I don't know if you've seen Jacksonville Stadium. They literally have pools around the upper deck of their stadium, so there's people partying in the pool during Jaguars games. Maybe people don't care about the product on the field. They're just there for the environment. Who knows? I don't know. Only Khan knows, their owner, what is it, Shahid Khan or Shahid Khan? Only he knows what their financials are, what they're doing, because clearly they're not doing it in the wins and loss column, or the wins column, I should say. So I don't know what the Jaguars are doing. I don't know what Blake Bortles is doing. Everybody in that organization, they're running out of slack. That owner is going to start reeling it in and firing everybody and making massive changes if they don't get it together soon. And truthfully, it's the right move because these guys have all underperformed. I believe they have the most riding on the combine, and the Jaguars need to get it together quickly. Sorry about some of the mistakes I made. I made a few in the last video I made before this. I forgot a few players' names. Devontae Freeman, one of them, for the Falcons. Also, he had a few times where I just messed up with, enunciation and things like that. I will get better with time. But once again, thank you for watching my video. I'm having a lot of fun doing the YouTube videos, and tune in to endzoneblog.com for more NFL content. Thank you very much.